People learn to talk in just 2 years, but it takes them their whole lives to understand how important silence is. Not only does real knowledge mean knowing when to speak up, but it also means knowing when to be quiet. Silence is not the lack of speech. It is a strong choice to stay out of pointless arguments, not say stupid or angry things, and stay out of trouble that isn't required. It is a way to keep your peace and protect your honor. Epictetus, one of the greatest philosophers in ancient Greece, said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This quote not only shows how important it is to listen, but it also encourages us to seek deep understanding and continuous learning from those around us. Silence gives us the chance to learn, grow, and practice Stoicism every day. Let's explore the power of silence through 10 unique situations. We'll learn how to apply these lessons to our everyday lives and find inner peace and the hidden strength in every moment of stillness. We know that every minute we choose to be quiet, we are improving our patience, wisdom, and ability to make wise decisions. This is not only a journey of learning, but also a process of self-discovery. Number 1. Silence in times of gossip. It's easy to get caught up in gossip, and it often spreads like flames in social settings. Even though gossip is everywhere, it can hurt you directly and socially if you participate in it or react to it. When people are talking about other people, staying quiet is a strong move that shows you are wise, self-controlled, and honest. You can keep your pride, protect your relationships, and make the world a better place by refusing to take part in talk. This lesson talks about why and how to stay quiet when someone is spreading rumors. Keeps your personal integrity. If you don't say anything about gossip, it shows that you value your own morals and honesty. For no reason, it shows that you are not ready to give up your values for chatter. People will value you more if you are honest, which makes your character stronger. Stops escalation. It only takes a little gossip to quickly turn into confusion, fights, and broken relationships. You can avoid adding fuel to the fire by having a quiet moment. Your silence can help calm things down and stop more damage from happening. Keeps relationships safe. Telling lies about someone can hurt not only the person you're talking about, but also your relationships with the people who hear you. Being quiet shows that you are loyal and trustworthy, which saves your relationships, encourages a good environment. There is a greater chance of positivity, support, and productivity in places where talk is less common. You can help make the community healthier and more polite by choosing to be quiet. It makes you think. When there is silence, you can think about things. It makes you think about what talk means and how you fit into it. This thought process can help you grow as a person and gain a better understanding of how important it is to act in a decent way. In conclusion, staying quiet during gossip is a strong way to keep your integrity, stop things from getting worse, protect your relationships, create a positive atmosphere, and encourage you to think. By following this rule, you not only stay true to your own ideals, but you also help make the community more respectful and helpful. We often think of casual conversations as necessary for communication, but if we look closer, we can see that these conversations not only waste time, but also pose risks of harm. Stoic philosophy stresses how important science is in these situations because it shows knowledge and patience. People often start casual conversations because they're interested in small things in other people's lives. But these conversations don't add much value and can hurt relationships. For example, at a small party with close friends, someone starts talking about a mutual friend and criticizing their actions and decisions without really understanding what's going on. Such negative words not only show disrespect for that person, but they can also lead to misunderstanding and mistrust within the group as the story spreads, creating a toxic environment that hurts relationships between members and breaks down trust and unity within the group, according to the Stoic philosophy. Not speaking up in these situations is not only a sign of patience and kindness, but also of respect and wisdom. By choosing silence, we can stop the spread of harmful words and protect our own values in the spirit of Stoicism. You can't just be silent, you have to live in silence. It's a way to control and shape your thoughts and actions instead of getting caught up in useless talk. Stoics usually pick to spend their time on things that help them grow and make them better. Number 2, silence in times of rumination. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a great Stoic philosopher, once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." By saying this, he not only shows how important tranquility is, but also that in today's busy world, the most peaceful place we can find is inside ourselves. It's important to keep quiet so that our minds can listen and deeply reflect on ourselves. This creates a serene spiritual space for us to think and gain deep insights into life. Silence is also seen as a way to connect more deeply with God. St. Augustine wrote about how important it is to listen to God in silence, saying that because God made us for himself, our hearts are restless until they rest in him. This makes silence a religious act where we find peace and a better understanding of his intentions. Staying away from rumors and pointless things not only helps us keep our integrity, but it also keeps our minds safe from false information and thoughts. In contemplation, silence is not a way to avoid problems. It's a way to face and solve them on purpose. As Epictetus said, "Don't wish for everything to happen as you wish it would. Rather, wish that everything happens as it actually will, and your life will flow smoothly." This is also a way to change the subject from negative to positive and work on yourself. By being quiet, we not only avoid being hurt by harmful words, but we also give our minds a chance to understand and change our own thoughts. If you want to keep your inner peace and strength, do you agree with the idea that silence is not only a choice, but a must during times of reflection? Please share your stories and deep insights in the comments. Sometimes the words we use in anger can hurt us the most. When emotions are high, it's hard to keep quiet, but I think that's when the power of silence is truly shown. It's when we choose to stand firm on the edge of restraint that we protect ourselves and uphold the dignity of others. Number 3. Silence in times of anger. Have you ever thought about why silence can be a sign of strength? Maybe staying quiet when you're angry isn't just a sign of stoicism, but also the first step toward deep healing and reconciliation. This isn't just a choice. It's a choice to control your impulses and gain a better understanding. Not only is anger a strong feeling, but it can also lead to actions that hurt yourself and others. In these situations, being quiet isn't just a sign of caution, it's a sign of self-control and awareness. Seneca wrote that anger that isn't controlled can hurt us more than the damage that makes us angry. This shows how important it is to choose silence as a way to protect yourself and show respect for others. Also, silence isn't just the lack of words, it's an active act of awareness and reflection. When we don't react right away to anger, we give ourselves time to understand its causes and learn from them. In these times, being calm and flexible are very important because they help us react more purposefully, which leads to healing and reconciliation not only with others but also with ourselves. In the Bible, Proverbs 15:1 says that silence is also valued as an act of humility and patience. A kind answer calms anger, but a harsh word saint makes people angry. This tells us that choosing silence in all situations is an important part of building a community of love and understanding. When you're angry, keeping quiet can help you handle disagreements, keep relationships strong, and keep your emotions in check. It can be tempting to act right away when you're angry, which can lead to hurtful words and actions you later wish you hadn't done. But picking silence gives you time to think, pause, and answer more carefully. This practice isn't about hiding your feelings. It's about giving yourself time and space to deal with them and think clearly about what's going on. Take a moment to think. When you feel your anger growing, taking a moment of silence can help you stop and think about what's going on. You can avoid acting on impulse and think about the results of your words and actions after this short break. Take a deep breath and count to 10 before replying to an angry comment. Doing this easy thing can help you get your emotions back in check. Get a new view. Being quiet can help you see things more clearly. It gives you time to figure out why you're angry and to look at the problem from different points of view, such as the other person's. If a coworker says something that makes you angry, a moment of silence can help you figure out if they meant to hurt you or if they just didn't understand what you meant. Keep your cool. You can keep your emotions and behaviors in check by choosing silence. This self-control keeps the conflict from getting worse and helps you react in a more calm and helpful way. When arguing with family, it's better to stay quiet than to yell back. This will keep things from getting out of hand and make it easier to settle things later. Improve your listening. Being quiet helps you listen more carefully. When you're not thinking about what you're going to say next, you can hear and understand the other person's point of view better, which can help you communicate and solve the problem more effectively. If you disagree with a friend, listening to their worries without speaking can show that you care about how they feel and want to find a solution. Bring about inner peace. When you're angry, practicing silence can help you feel calm and stable inside. It calms you down when you're feeling upset and makes it less likely that you'll hold on to anger or sorrow for a long time. Instead of getting angry over a small annoyance at the end of a busy day, choosing silence can help you relax and approach the situation with a clearer, calmer mind. Being quiet when you're mad is not a sign of weakness. It shows that you are strong and emotionally intelligent. It helps you control your emotions, understand what's going on better, and talk to people better. Using silence when you're angry can help you keep your inner peace, build better relationships, and find more peaceful ways to solve problems. Number 4. Silence in times of conflict. When there is conflict, people often want to start heated arguments and say things quickly that they may later regret. But a real Stoic philosopher will choose a different path. Silence. This is not a sign of weakness or lack of interest. It's a sign of inner power and self-control. Misunderstandings and negative emotions often lead to conflict. When things are tense, words can become weapons that make things worse. The power of silence lies in its ability to separate us from the verbal battle so that we don't hurt ourselves or others. The hallmark of silence in conflict is the proactive maintenance of calmness, giving oneself time and space to think about their words and deeds. This makes it clear how important it is to listen and learn. When we are silent, we not only stop talking, but our minds and ears also open up to hear and understand other people's points of view. Imagine an ancient temple tucked away in the middle of dense forests, where the sound of falling leaves is like a whisper, and people think about scripture and listen to God's voice. This temple is not only a place of worship, but also a sacred space where all sounds of nature are seen as messages from far away. The silence of the temple not only helps people focus on spreading God's message, but it also gives believers and pilgrims a chance to deeply consider doctrine. They learn to open their hearts to receive divine guidance, which leads to positive changes in their lives and relationships with others. The temple shows how to create a place where people can talk to each other freely, and where silence can connect people with nature and each other through respect and peace. Finally, silence encourages us to think about our actions and words, which helps us become more self-controlled and understand ourselves better, which leads to better decisions in the future. In this constantly changing world, silly words can be too much for our minds. It's during these times that the core of Stoic philosophy becomes even more important. It's not just about staying safe, it's also about keeping your honor. When people are angry or upset, their feelings are likely to be strong, which can make them act or say things quickly that make things worse. In these situations, choosing quiet is a strong and smart move. Being quiet doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong and smart. It gives people a chance to think, eases tension, and leads to a more thoughtful and constructive answer. Allows for thought and clarity. Taking a moment of silence can help you think about what's going on and get a better sense of your feelings and thoughts. It helps people understand what the real problems are and stops them from acting in ways that make things worse. Stops escalation. When people are angry, silence can act as a cushion to keep things from getting worse. If you don't answer right away, you're less likely to say something you'll later regret. This keeps things from getting out of hand. Active listening is encouraged. By choosing silence, you can listen to the other person's point of view more carefully, which can help you understand it better. Being able to actively listen can help you find common ground and answers that you might not have seen at the time. Shows control over emotions. Keeping quiet during a fight shows that you can control your feelings and behaviors, which earns respect from the other people involved. It sets a good standard and might make the other person more likely to behave in a calm and polite way too. Helps you respond with thought. Instead of responding without thinking, silence gives you time to think about what to say. A calm and well-thought-out answer is more likely to be helpful and lead to a peaceful resolution of the conflict. During times of conflict, silence can be very helpful because it helps people think, stops things from getting worse, and pushes them to listen. It shows that you can control your emotions and encourages thoughtful reactions, which leads to a more positive outcome. If you learn how to be silent, you can handle disagreements more wisely and effectively. Number 5. Silence in times of slander. Framing is a problem that all of us can face. It not only hurts people's integrity, but also causes problems in society. People who follow the Stoic theory may choose to remain silent in this situation. Silence is not a surrender. It's a deliberate response that helps us stay calm and collected, which leads to clearer and more effective solutions when we're faced with framing. Silence lets us focus on understanding and forgiveness. Instead of responding with words that might make things worse, we think about where those words came from and why they were said. This is a chance to develop patience and compassion and see others with more generosity. A deep understanding of how people work and the ability to forgive not only helps ease personal suffering, but also makes the world a better place to live. By being quiet, we not only protect ourselves from negativity, but also make a strong statement about our self-respect and dignity. Stoicism values people who can control their feelings and reactions, and being quiet in these conditions shows that you can do that. Moreover, making sense opens the door to peace and healing. When we're not caught up in the whirlwind of hurtful words, we have time and space to think about and assess our actions and relationships. This not only helps us avoid hasty actions and words, but it also helps build a society full of compassion and empathy. For example, let's say you are the leader of a large organization and all of a sudden hear false information about how transparent your financial management is. Instead of getting angry, you choose to remain silent. During that time, you set up an independent audit and write a detailed financial report. Once all the data has been confirmed and the report is finished, you hold a press conference to clear up any confusion and give everyone the whole story. This not only protects your reputation, but also builds trust and respect among employees and business partners. Finally, how would you respond if someone framed you? Would you choose the path of silence, showing mental strength and compassion, or would you act out of anger? Let me know what you think in the comments. We've gone through half of today's lesson together. Thank you for coming along with us on this journey to learn about the power of silence. As we've seen, staying silent isn't just a way to avoid being hurt by mean people. It's also a way to find peace and a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When we take the time to think about our feelings and spirituality, silence becomes truly precious. It not only helps us find inner peace, but also connects us with the beauty and depth of life. Please continue to come along with us by liking, sharing, and watching the next lessons together as we grow and mature. Lying about someone quickly spreads in today's connected world, and it can be very bad for their image and mental health. The natural response might be to fight back or defend yourself strongly, but ancient wisdom and modern psychological research both show that sometimes staying quiet can be a strong and smart move. Being quiet in the face of lies can show that you are strong, self-controlled, and sure of yourself, letting the truth come out on its own. This lesson talks about the benefits and techniques of staying quiet when you are being slandered, giving you useful tips on how to handle tough situations with ease and respect. Strength and self-control are shown. Being able to respond with silence instead of anger or defense shows that you are in charge of your feelings. This can stop people from spreading lies about you because it takes away the response they want. Keeping your cool shows that you are strong and resilient inside. Avoids escalation. A war of words can make things worse by bringing more attention to the situation and possibly making the accusation worse. By staying quiet, you don't add fuel to the fire, which can help the conflict calm down and keep your image from getting worse. Gives you time to think. You can think about what's going on in a calm and logical way when there is silence. This time to think about it can help you decide what to do next, whether that's to deal with the problem when you have a clear head or to let it go without giving it any more thought. Lets the truth come out on its own. Slander is often based on lies or exaggerations. You can let the truth come out on its own if you don't respond right away. When someone says bad things about you and you stay calm, they are more likely to doubt their story, keeps your honor intact. When someone says bad things about you, staying quiet helps you keep your cool and respect. It shows that you don't care about small arguments and won't be dragged down to the level of people who spread lies. Other people may respect and admire you for this. It can be hard to keep quiet when someone is slandering you, but it can be a very effective way to show how strong you are. Stop the situation from getting worse and let the truth win out. By keeping your cool and honor, you show that you are strong and smart, and that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just stay quiet. Number 6. Silence in times of spiritual contemplation. Marcus Aurelius, a famous philosopher, said that a person can find a quieter or more peaceful place to retreat than in his own soul. When we choose silence in spiritual contemplation, we are not only practicing not speaking out loud, but we are also nurturing a state of our souls where the chaos of the world cannot reach. Silence in spiritual contemplation helps us find out more about ourselves and the world around us. When the mind is freed from the restrictions of words, we can experience self-discovery and awareness. Not only does silence help us calm down, but it also gives our souls a chance to connect more deeply with God, who is the source of all life and knowledge. But in this day and age, when everything seems to be ready to go and wireless connectivity is everywhere, how can we really find moments of silence for ourselves? This is a question that each of us needs to think about. How we choose to turn off the noise and seek silence will determine our ability to find peace and deep understanding. It's not just a way to calm down, it's also a reminder of how important it is to not react too quickly to life's events. In silence, we find the strength to face challenges and to deeply reflect on our own duties and purposes in life. Silence as a form of self-discovery and mindfulness is not just a part of the spiritual journey. It's the essence of a truly fulfilling and meaningful life. So, when you think about the role of silence in your life, ask yourself, when was the last time you let yourself experience complete peace without any interruptions? And what might be different if you spent more time in those moments of silence? Leave a comment on the insights you gain. Every choice can lead to a different crossroads of destiny. The story of Jack, a young leader, is a great example. At a crucial moment, he had to decide whether to pursue a risky new career opportunity or stay at his current job, which was stable for his family. Jack chose silence because he knew that in silence, true wisdom grows and the right choices are made. He knew that silence was not a sign of hesitation or doubt, but a chance for deep thought, listening to the voices of reason and emotion and making the best choice. In many religious and philosophical traditions, being quiet during times of mental reflection has very important meanings. Whether people want to find inner peace, clarity, or a greater connection with God, embracing silence helps them get past the noise of everyday life and into the spiritual depths of their being. Inner stillness. Silence can help people reach inner stillness by calming their minds and creating a peaceful inner scene. This state makes it easier to have spiritual insights and connect with bigger facts. Hearing the soul. When there is silence, one can carefully hear the words of the soul. This self-reflective practice helps people become more self-aware by letting them face their deepest feelings, thoughts, and goals without any outside distractions. Communication with the divine. When you are quiet, you can connect with the divine or higher forces in a holy way. This peace makes it easier for spiritual guidance, healing and revelation to come through, whether you do it through prayer, meditation, or quiet thought. Transcending ego. The practice of silence helps people get past their ego's steady chatter and small worries. When people let go of stories that are based on their ego, they can feel more connected to the world and to all living things. Integration and reflection. Silence is a great way to integrate and think about the meaning of life, morals, and existential problems. It encourages people to think deeply about the nature of life, the point of suffering, and the pursuit of virtue. Accepting silence during spiritual reflection is more than just not hearing anything. It's a practice that makes room for personal growth, connection, and going beyond the everyday. Number 7. Silence in times of decision-making. Imagine looking at a big oil painting. Each stroke and swath of color hides a deep meaning, just like the choices you make in life. Each choice you make adds to the bigger picture of your life. In Stoic philosophy, taking a moment to admire a painting before making a choice is like taking a step back to think about the meaning and effects of each brushstroke that will shape the future. Not only is silence the absence of noise, it's also a place to think and grow in wisdom and resilience. It's important to keep your emotions in check and avoid making snap decisions that you'll later regret. In the Bible, the story of King Solomon and the dispute over the baby is a great example of how to use silence to make a good decision. When two women claimed to be the baby's mother, Solomon had to decide who was the real mother without any clear evidence. He ordered that the baby be split in half, which seemed cruel but was actually a subtle way to deal with the situation. Solomon's silence made it possible for the two women's true natures to come out. The real mother quickly begged Solomon to save the baby's life, and the other mother was ready to accept the split. In this way, Solomon not only saved the baby, but also showed that he was wise and fair in tough situations, which made people like and respect him more. Being quiet when making a choice is also a sign of respect for yourself and others. It lets you think more deeply about problems and weigh all the pros and cons without letting feelings or pressures get in the way. We make ethical, long-lasting choices that reflect the values and principles we want to live by. When you are at a crossroads in your life, remember that every choice you make affects both the present and the future. Silence can help you hear the voice of reason and heart, guiding you to a path that is in line with your soul and beliefs. When people are trying to make decisions, silence can hold a lot of knowledge. A deliberate pause is what makes it possible for clarity to appear in the midst of uncertainty, not just the lack of noise. Learning how to be silent when making a choice can help you make better ones and understand the situation better. Clarity among noise. Silence is a safe place to be when there are a lot of choices and views. You can hear your own thoughts and instincts clearly when you block out outside and inside noise. Time to think. When you have to make a choice, silence gives you the time to think that you need. It helps you think about the pros and cons, the possible outcomes, and how your decisions will affect you in the future. Respectful listening. Being silent doesn't just mean not speaking, it also means listening. When you listen without talking over or interrupting, you learn more about other people's thoughts and concerns, which helps you make better choices. Respecting complexity. You can't always make a choice quickly. Silence shows respect for the difficulty of the situation by recognizing that some things need to be thought through carefully. It shows that you understand how important choices are and what they might mean. Assertiveness in action. Silence during decision-making doesn't necessarily mean that you're not sure what to do or are passive. It means taking a conscious break to get stronger and more sure of yourself before making a decision. It's about knowing when to talk or act in a way that makes sense. To become good at using silence to make decisions, you need to learn to be patient, trust your gut, and have a lot of respect for the process of careful thought. This skill can change how you deal with problems and handle tricky situations with ease and intelligence. Number 8. Silence in times of suffering. Moments of silence are not only a Stoic custom, but also a powerful way to remember your spiritual strength when things are hard. Stoics don't avoid pain. Instead, they choose to accept it calmly, which leads to peace and a better understanding of themselves and the world around them. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison under South Africa's apartheid regime. During this time, especially in the early days at Robben Island prison, Mandela chose silence as a way to resist and think about his strategy and vision for a free and equal South Africa. His silence wasn't just a lack of words, it was a form of resistance, a way to keep his spiritual strength and dignity in a harsh prison environment. Millions of people around the world looked up to Mandela as an example of patience and endurance because he kept quiet. It also helped him gain a lot of power when he was freed and continued to lead his country toward peace and reconciliation. When we are suffering, being silent gives us a chance to focus on renewing our inner strength and a deeper connection with the divine, who is always with us. Suffering tests our faith, but also gives us a chance to communicate with the divine more deeply, showing trust and reverence through words and silence. When we are in pain, choosing silence is more than just not speaking. It opens our hearts to hear, feel, and understand that the power of the divine is always with us and supporting us. In this way, choosing silence becomes an act of faith and a vow on the spiritual path. A real lesson in how to be strong inside, even when everything else seems to be falling apart. Have you ever been through a time of silence like this while you were suffering? How did that silence help you understand the reason and meaning of the problems you were facing? When you're going through hard times, silence can help you get stronger inside. It means keeping your cool and not responding impulsively to bad things that happen. This practice helps people think about themselves, control their emotions, and learn more about how they react to problems. Reflection. When you're in pain, being quiet makes you think about what you're feeling instead of reacting right away. It helps you become more self-aware and emotionally intelligent by letting you notice your feelings without getting swamped by them. Strength in stillness. Choosing silence doesn't mean you're passive. It means you have inner strength and self-control. Responding thoughtfully instead of reactively is a choice that can keep pain from getting worse. Respect for feelings. When things are hard, silence respects how complicated feelings can be. It recognizes that some situations are hard to understand or solve right away and gives you time to work through your feelings. Communication clarity. When words fail to properly describe pain, silence can speak louder. It makes it easier to listen and understand without feeling like you have to defend or explain your thoughts. This helps people connect with each other more deeply. Transformation and healing. Accepting silence when you are hurting can help you heal and change. It helps you accept the things you can't change and keeps you focused on growing as a person and being strong. Keeping quiet during times of pain isn't about hiding your feelings. It's about using them in a healthy way. This practice gives people the strength to handle problems with grace and determination, promoting inner peace in the middle of chaos in the outside world. Number 9. Silence in times of success. When people are successful, they often become cocky and forget the people who helped them get there. But real Stoics choose to be quiet and show their deep gratitude to God and those around them. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Don't waste any more time arguing about what a good man should be." This shows how important it is to stay humble and know that every success is the result of many factors and forces working together. In addition to our own abilities, remaining quiet when we achieve great things helps us stay away from the negative emotions of pride, greed, and envy. By not bragging about our successes, we not only keep our hearts pure and peaceful, but we also make room for others to feel joy without being distracted by comparisons or jealousy. When we reach a goal, keeping quiet doesn't mean we don't care about what we've done. Instead, it's a reminder that all of our successes, no matter how big or small, are part of a bigger plan, and God holds the ultimate key to that plan. Your point of view is important to us. How do you feel about keeping quiet about your own success? Success, can you find deep thanks and humility in those times? Tell us what you think below. Did you know that deep inside our minds, when it's quiet at night, there's silence? Our thoughts stop flowing, echoes with the noise of everyday life, leaving only the steady beat of the heart and the reverberation of the mind. This is a time for reflection, but not just thinking about the past. It's also a time for self-discovery, a deep dive into the inner self to better understand oneself and change the path ahead. A lot of the time, success brings praise and attention, but practicing silence when things are going well is a strong virtue that is often ignored. It means staying calm and humble, not bragging about things that aren't worth bragging about, and focused on continuing to grow. Keeps you humble. Being quiet when you're doing well keeps you grounded. It makes you realize that success and failure are temporary and pushes you to be humble about both. Keeps others from being jealous or angry. Being successful in public can make other people jealous or angry. Silence makes it less likely to make people feel bad and keeps relationships peaceful. Encourages continuous improvement. When you're quiet, you're more likely to think about the next task or goal instead of celebrating past wins. It encourages an attitude of always getting better and looking ahead. Increases respect. People respect those who don't say anything but what they do. When you're successful, keeping quiet can earn you more respect and admiration from both peers and rivals. Keeps you from getting too comfortable. Talking about past wins all the time can make you feel too comfortable. Being alone with your thoughts helps you stay hungry and driven to do more. When you're successful, being quiet doesn't mean you're ignoring your accomplishments or playing down your work. It means being careful about when and how you share your successes, staying true to your values and focusing on growth and impact over the long run. Number 10, silence in times of reflection. People often forget how important silence is in our fast-paced, always connected world. Still, silence is a strong way to think about yourself and grow as a person. Silence gives us a chance to stop and think about our thoughts, which helps us understand our actions and events better. Accepting silence can help us become more self-aware, clear, and have a deeper understanding of our lives. This lesson talks about why and how silence can help you think and reflect, and it gives you steps you can take to use this practice every day. Makes you more self-aware. Silence gives us a chance to focus on our own thoughts and feelings without being interrupted by other things. Being self-aware is an important part of growing as a person and having emotional intelligence. For example, if you sit quietly and watch your thoughts for a few minutes every day, you may notice trends in the way you think and feel. Helps with focus and clarity. When there is quiet, the mind can block out noise and concentrate on what's important. Being more clear can help you make better choices and set clearer goals. For example, regular, quiet thought can help you set priorities for your tasks and goals, which can help you make action plans that work better and faster. Helps with processing emotions. Explanation. Silence lets us work through our feelings without being interrupted by other people or things. This can help us deal with our feelings in a healthier way and learn more about what makes us feel bad. Spending time in silence after a busy day can help you deal with and let go of your feelings, which can make you feel calmer and more balanced. Encourages being present and mindful. Being aware is easier when there is silence, which helps us stay in the present moment. This habit can help you feel better generally and lower your stress. Example, having quiet times during the day, like while you're walking or eating, can help you be more aware and present. Encourages creativity and solving problems. Silence can help people be more creative and come up with new ideas by clearing their minds of all other thoughts. It gives your mind a chance to travel and find new links. A lot of artists and thinkers say that their best ideas come to them when they are alone and can think about things. This could be through meditation, nature walks, or just sitting in silence. Being quiet when you need to think is a powerful exercise that can help you become more self-aware, clear, emotionally healthy, mindful, and creative. Adding times of silence to our daily lives on purpose can help us grow as people and help us live our lives with more clarity and purpose. Accept the peace and quiet, and learn how it can help you on your path to self-discovery. Being quiet while reflecting lets us really think about the lessons that life has to teach us. For example, in the Bible, it talks about how Jesus went to the desert to pray and think about things for 40 days and nights. During that time, he faced challenges and temptations and also tried to get clear on his mission and role. This silence not only helped Jesus strengthen his spirit and spiritual power, but it also got him ready for the big events that were to come in his life. This is what reflection is all about, an inner journey that helps us find and define ourselves and our roles in the world. In these times of silence, we also learn to accept and understand problems more deeply, as Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in Meditation. Because of this, silence isn't just the lack of noise. It's also a spiritual state in which our minds are freed from the chaos of daily life through reflection. In silence, we seek not only answers, but also a deeper understanding of ourselves and our connection to the universe. Whether you believe in God or a higher power, this moment of stillness can inspire you to keep going on the path of spiritual growth and self-development we've been talking about together. Here are 10 times when staying quiet can help you become a real Stoic. Have you noticed that there are times when silence is not only golden, but also a key to staying calm and wise? Leave your ideas in the comments section. Are there other times you think people should be quiet that we haven't talked about? How has silence helped you get through hard times? If you think this video was helpful, please like it and share it with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. We're always adding new lessons and insights into Stoic philosophy. Keep watching and learn more about the power of silence in everyday life by watching the videos at the end of this one. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.